Now, just a little warning here that there will be spoilers for the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian in this video, so if you haven't seen it yet, well, first of all, go and watch it already. And second of all, don't watch this video until after you have, if you don't want anything ruined. Okay, so for those of you who have indeed seen the season finale, including the post-credit scene where Boba Fett basically takes and sits upon Jabba's old throne after dispatching of poor Bib Fortuna, and then we were told something called the Book of Boba Fett would be coming in December 2021, well, we finally have it clarified and confirmed officially by Disney and Lucasfilm what exactly that is or will be, and I'm happy to report that it will be its own series, not that Season 3 of The Mandalorian would be becoming the Book of Boba Fett, thus turning the show into something more anthology style where we would bounce around to different stories from time to time. And yes, I'll admit I was one of those who thought that's what was maybe happening. I thought since the episodes were called chapters, and since I think it's safe to say one book in the story of Din Djarin has basically come to an end, the one with him and Grogu, that perhaps we'd go to and open a new book altogether, yet still vaguely related to Mandalorians, that being Boba Fett's book. Instead, the Book of Boba Fett will be a different volume altogether, if you will, told alongside the continuing story of Din Djarin in The Mandalorian, all set within the ever-growing Filoni-Verse. And I say or call it that because he, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and Robert Rodriguez will be producing this series, which stars, no surprise here, Tamora Morrison as Boba Fett and Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shand. And though yes, a great many people deserve a heck of a lot of credit for how amazing The Mandalorian has been thus far, I'd have to guess Dave Filoni and his vast knowledge, understanding, and passion for Star Wars. He was, after all, pretty much a Padawan to George Lucas. Well, that he has been a key secret ingredient in the formula, and it's no surprise we keep seeing his name attached to all these new shows, and every time I do there's a little sigh of relief, because someone who truly gets Star Wars will obviously be heavily involved. Anyway, another reason I thought maybe the shows, Season 3 of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, might be one and the same is because it wasn't announced at the Disney 2020 investor presentation a week or so back now, which props to Disney and Lucasfilm for not in any way spoiling the surprise of that post-credit scene, even though it caused a bit of confusion about what exactly was going on. But as I kind of predicted, they waited a few days until after the premiere of that season finale to put anything official out there, giving pretty much everyone a chance to, again, get to see and experience that post-credit scene without any prior knowledge that a Boba Fett show was coming, which is cool. It's cool they'd hold such a big announcement back from such a major presentation just to hopefully surprise fans instead. Not that waiting a few days to announce it mattered too much because sadly a lot of fans and those in the media and elsewhere don't have that same sort of courtesy when it comes to trying to avoid spoiling things for others. Being first is more important than being a decent fellow fan, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I know how exciting it is to talk about, and I know how hard it is maybe to walk that line between spoiling things and just wanting to talk about something that you're really excited about. And there are times I want to make a video about something, like I'm dying to make a video about the return of Luke Skywalker right now, but I don't want to make a thumbnail or a title that would ruin that awesome surprise for even one person, so I'll wait a couple more days yet. Anyway, yeah, I get the excitement, and I get how hard it is to do a review for an episode and not put anything in a title or show anything in a thumbnail that may spoil something, yet you want to still attract people to watch your video. I certainly have flirted with the spoiler line and crossing it myself in the past. And sadly, it wouldn't shock me if there are those who don't actually even watch the episode at first, but instead, as soon as it drops, they skim through it looking for something they can immediately post to Twitter or write about or whatever it might be. And then when they get called out for putting something spoiler-like in the wee hours of the morning shortly after the episode has gone live, and when, let's be honest, most people, especially here in the US, aren't or can't be awake to watch it because of school or work or whatever else it might be they have to do in the morning, they'll say something like, "It's not my fault you didn't watch it right away, and you should have stayed off the internet until you watched it," as if that's some type of option for most people these days, to stay off the internet, I mean, when a lot of people work on the internet. And not to go off on this too much more, yet to kind of keep with the theme for just another moment or two, I suppose, it is interesting to note, and I can't believe how much I'm praising them here, there is another simple way Disney tries to keep from spoiling things, one you may or may not have noticed, and that my fiancé actually pointed out to me. which is before watching a new episode for the first time, there will be a very generic description for it given, something like the Mandalorian and child continue their adventure. It's always the same apparently, and only after watching it will it make the episode or the description of it much more clear. And not to call any one individual out or anything or to anger people, but if Disney can do a decent job trying to keep spoilers to a minimum, I think there are some others out there who could try to do a better job as well. That's just my 2 cents on the matter, and again, as someone who does this for a living, I get the desire to want to be first and to potentially make the most money. And I know you always have to try and be a little clickbaity if you want to get people to watch your videos, but let's try not to do that at the expense of others, at the expense of our fellow fans. Anyway, here, getting back to the topic at hand, another reason I thought these two shows might be one and the same is that originally it seemed like they'd maybe be overlapping to some degree, in terms of their release schedule, I mean. We were told that The Mandalorian was coming out during the 2021 holiday season and that the Book of Boba Fett was coming out December of 2021, and obviously that's basically the same time frame. And though I have been giving Disney some credit here in this video, let's get back to reality and remember that beneath it all, it is all about the money. And I don't think they'd overlap shows when they can spread them out in order to have more content over a longer period of time in order to keep people subscribed. So unless, again, there was a really good story reason for them overlapping, I couldn't see it happening. And it seems this apparently got cleared up on Good Morning America today, where Jon Favreau said the Book of Boba Fett is filming first and will be coming in December of 2021, and that The Mandalorian Season 3 would be filming after and won't be coming out until sometime in 2022, which, for better or worse, makes sense that there'd be, again, a separation between the two. No way Disney would give us two shows at the same time. Though through all this, I'm left wondering about The Bad Batch. I'm very curious to know when that will be starting, how long it'll be, how many episodes I mean, and so on. All we know right now is it is supposed to be coming in 2021, but I'll leave further speculation about that for another video, and instead speculate just a little bit about the future of the Filoni-Verse, as I call it, or how all these coming shows set in this same time period will tie together. And I think the very simple and easy answer to that will be Thrawn. I think he will be the glue or common theme or thread among all four of these shows, those being The Mandalorian, where Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, and the Mandalorians as a whole will seek liberation from the remnants of the Empire, led by Thrawn. Ahsoka, where she will be hunting him to learn what happened to Ezra so that she can keep her promise to him and come find him. Rangers of the New Republic, where we'll see, you guessed it, the New Republic struggling to fight against the remnants of the Empire, led by Thrawn. And the Book of Boba Fett, where we may see Boba Fett working for the other side of it, working with the remnants of the Empire and Thrawn. So again, I do think Thrawn will be a sort of common theme among all the shows, though I don't think all of them will focus on him necessarily. And that, as promised by Kathleen Kennedy at that investor presentation, there will be some sort of event culmination series which will be centered around stopping everyone's favorite Chiss once and for all, which will hopefully be a better end for this character, one of the most intelligent and best characters in all of Star Wars, than being carted away by space whales like he was in Rebels. Well, that's all I've got for you this time. Now it's your turn to tell me what you think about all this. Are you excited to learn that the Book of Boba Fett will be its own series? Are you excited for the future of Star Wars in general? And what do you think about spoilers? Do they bother you, or are you a pro at dodging them? Or are you that person, like me, watching as soon as the episode drops, and they don't matter to you too much? Whatever the case may be, leave a comment below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.